Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hello and welcome to Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. I'm Becky Parker-Geist and I'm your host. Audiobook Connection is your place to learn about the audiobook creative process and for authors to learn valuable tips on producing and marketing your audiobooks. This podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Hello! Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's episode is going to focus on a program called AMPlify, which is a distribution and marketing program available for authors of books that are already in audio. And it was exclusive to clients of Pro Audio Voices, but just recently we've opened it up to make it available for authors who have their book already in audio and are looking for a solution that will expand their distribution, give them more control, higher royalties, and then also make it easier for them to take marketing actions that are going to be impactful. To give you just a little bit of background on this particular offering, this AMPlify offering, for many years in doing audiobook production for our clients, one of the things that I had always found frustrating was that there weren't any really clean, easy solutions for being able to sell an audiobook directly. In other words, not only through the many retail platforms that are available through the library channels, the music channels. And this is not to replace any of those, but really as an addition to those platforms for distribution, because those are all important as well. You need that kind of visibility, but it's also really helpful to have at least one platform where you can retain a lot of control and also earn much higher royalties. So it was out of this frustration that we were able to finally find a couple different technologies that we were able to put together to create the AMPlify program, which we now offer as part of our production package, but it is also as an add-on for anyone that would just like that if they've had their audiobook produced somewhere else. So we're going to dive into the details and talk through both what the features are, but more importantly, how to leverage those. If you've been listening to my podcast for a while, you will know that I am very interested in leverage. How do we take what we have and use it in ways that will help us better achieve our goals? And I feel like the AMPlify program can be a really powerful tool in that leverage toolkit. So let's jump in. If you're in a situation where you can easily, while listening to this, also open a web page, you might want to go to proaudiovoices.com/amplify, and you'll be able to see some of the things that we're going to talk about here. So the first thing, in terms of leveraging the AMPlify program, is that you can control your launch. As you may be aware, especially in the audiobook format, we don't have a lot of control over exactly when our audiobook is going to launch in retail channels. And when you're going through a program or a distributor like Authors Republic, you'll know that because it's going out to so many different channels, there's even more sort of disparity between when it launches in the various locations, retail, library, or music channels. And this, of course, includes Audible and iTunes. the channels that many people are focused on when they're thinking about getting their audiobook out there to the world. So let's say, for example, you are launching all of your formats at the same time. With AMPlify, you can move forward knowing that you can control your launch date with your audiobook. You may want to still try to give some lead time to get your audiobook live in the main channels, but it's good to know that you can have a location where the audiobook is in fact available. And we'll talk more as we go into this episode a little further about why you may want to drive your traffic to your AMPlify page, why that would particularly benefit you to do so. Another way in which controlling that launch may be of particular importance to you is with awards deadlines. If you're applying for an Audie Award, for example, and you're close to the submission deadline, and you don't know if it's going to be live by the time that deadline comes, you can use your AMPlify page as your launch page where it is available, and you can send that into the reviewers in that way. So it gives you a way to also meet awards deadlines when you're dealing with a tight time frame and you may not be sure if you can get it live in any other way. So that's the first piece, controlling when your audiobook launches. The second piece is about pricing. Now, you may be aware that if you distribute your audiobook through ACX, you will have not even the option to suggest a selling price, a retail price. With platforms like Authors Republic, you can put an MSRP in your metadata, and many audiobook retailers will use that pricing that you've selected, that you've suggested, but they're not required to. They get to set the price, and you don't have control over that. With AMPlify, you have complete control over what your sales price is on that platform. That platform, again, it's sort of like your very own direct sale platform. So anyone that buys through that web page that we create for you will be charged the price that you select. And that actually leads us very nicely into the next aspect of AMPlify, and that is promotional pricing. This is truly one of the most valuable things that AMPlify offers. If you're only dealing with retail platforms, libraries, and such, then you don't really have that kind of relationship with the retailer where you can get them to do a promotional pricing for something that you want to, some campaign that you want to do. Doing promotional campaigns where you discount the price for a certain amount of time or for some particular holiday, or whether it's, whatever the reason is that you're using for the promotion to be offered, it gives you a way to use your marketing to point to an opportunity for your audiobook customers to be able to get the book at a discount. You can't really do that when you've got it out in the other platforms. There's no way to make that connection. It's very difficult. With AMPlify, it's easy. And while we don't have it set up in any way where you can just go into a dashboard and do it directly yourself, it's as easy as an email. Just sending us an email, tell us what price you want it to be for what time period, and we can make that change for you. And then it will automatically go back to its regular price, whatever you have decided its regular price is at the end of that promotion. And I highly recommend doing promotional pricing campaigns. And a great time to start them off is when you launch. You can do like an early bird kind of offering or a launch special. It can even be set up before your audiobook is completely done as a pre-order. So there are just a lot of potentials for that kind of use and that kind of leverage with promotional pricing and AMPlify. The next element we're going to talk about is discount codes or coupons. With AMPlify, you can ask for whatever amount or percentage that you would like a coupon for, and including free. And then you can use those codes in any number of settings. Let's say, for example, if you're doing some kind of presentation and you'd like your attendees to be able to get your audiobook at some special price for the event, that becomes possible. You might want friends and family code, or you might want free for reviewers kind of code. There is a limit to how many of the free coupons can be redeemed before actually a charge gets incurred. That's not from Pro Audio Voices, but from one of the solution providers for the technology for the delivery of the audiobook. But it's not something that we have bumped up against in terms of it being a problem for any authors because, generally, if you're trying to get reviewers to review your audiobook and you send out a free code, many of those actually aren't even going to take advantage of it the way you want them to. But depending on how you couch it, that can work very effectively. And so we do encourage using it in that way. And speaking of reviews, one of the things that we include on your AMPlify page are some reviews. So typically it's 3 to 4 reviews that are on the page itself, or quotes from a review, because you want it to be short enough that people are going to catch the keywords and get excited about hitting the buy button, right? But when you give a code for a review, requesting a review, you need to understand a couple things. The first is that if they send you a review, they're not going to be able to post it on Audible, which is where most people want their reviews to show up. But what you can do is you can copy their review that they've sent you and you can put it on your Amazon author page as an editorial review. You can also post it in Goodreads as an editorial review. These are a couple really great ways to get reviews that you're receiving in other contexts and to make them visible in the Amazon ecosystem. And then to cover one more piece before we take our short break, royalties. Many people want to know, well, what are the royalties going to be when we're talking about distribution? And you should be asking that question. Typically, royalties from Audible are going to be stated as 25%, but they do that of 25% of what they sell it for. And sadly, and this is a point of great contention, but sadly, even if they give it away as a teaser for their subscription service that they are getting paid for, they do not pay royalties on those. So you should just be aware of the Audible practices and not put all your eggs in that one basket. As a sort of average of what royalties end up being through the Authors Republic platform, digital distribution is about 35% of your retail price that you have suggested. With AMPlify, you get 65% of the price that you are choosing to sell it for. If you have a promotional pricing campaign happening, it would be 65% of whatever that promotional price is. If someone buys it with a discount or a coupon code, then it would be 65% of whatever it is being sold for. So just to be really clear on the details of that. But that's a much higher percentage, which means that you are going to be able to much more quickly get your return on your investment in audiobook production. Okay, that's been a lot. Let's take a short pause. We'll be right back.
Looking for a marketing plan and the support to implement it? At Pro Audio Voices, we're here to help. The audiobook marketing program offers 3 levels of launch packages to meet your needs. Each 3-month program includes a custom marketing blueprint that is created through one-to-one strategy sessions with our marketing strategy team. You'll get access to the AMP membership portal with modules you can go through at your own pace, as well as a checklist to keep you on track. You'll also get a custom-built library of marketing assets, videos you can use in the places you'll be focusing on based on your marketing blueprint, a monthly coaching call, custom keywords and hashtags, your own direct sales landing page where you'll earn 70% of whatever price you said. And that's just the beginning. Visit audiobookmarketingprogram.com to learn more.
And we're back. So the next piece we're going to cover is still relating to money, and that is the payout. With audiobooks through the digital distributors where they're putting it out to many different channels, that typically you're going to have to wait until the month closes, and then about 3 weeks after that, you'll receive payment for that prior month. So if someone buys your audiobook early in a month, you're not going to see it for probably close to 2 months before that money actually arrives in your account. With AMPlify, the payout is 3 days after each sale. Now, there are a couple of key things that need to happen before that is be able to be processed, but our team works with you to make sure that those are in place. One of those is being an affiliate for your own product, and the second is making sure that your accounts are actually hooked up so that that automatic payment can be processed. Another element of AMPlify, and in some ways this is one of the first things, but we create a custom sales page for your audiobook. And when we're talking about driving traffic to buy the audiobook through AMPlify, that is the page that we're sending them to. We ask for images, colors, whatever, to help brand your audiobook page to your website or your book. And it includes a video trailer if you have one, and we'll get more information about that in just a second. It includes the buy button, your book description, testimonial quotes about your audiobook or your book, a bio about you, a link to your website, all the things that are the most important for people to be able to make a decision to buy your audiobook. If you have an audiobook series, this can also be built into a single AMPlify page. And there are some really cool things that we can do when you do have a series, and I'll get into that in just a minute. For that video that I mentioned, if you do not already have a book trailer, what we can create for you is basically using your audiobook retail sample. We can put your book cover as the image, or if you have other images, either from the book, your headshot, whatever is appropriate, we can build this into a video for you that will also be as a way to entice people to buy your audiobook on that AMPlify page. One of the next elements I want to talk about is customer information. Now, when people buy your audiobook through Audible, for example, you're not going to be able to have access to the information about who purchased it or have any way to reach out to them. So, and that's true on any of those platforms. That is proprietary information. They are not going to share it, even if you ask. With AMPlify, because it is a direct solution, you will have access to the emails and the first name of the people who purchase. And that is powerful information. It gives you the opportunity to reach out to them, let's say, maybe a month after they've purchased your audiobook, to find out how they've enjoyed it, what other content they may be interested in. Maybe there are other offerings that you have. Are you a coach? Do you have some kind of other titles that they might be interested in? There are a lot of reasons why it's really valuable to continue that conversation with your customers, and this is a way that makes it possible for you to do that. So this is just another reason why driving traffic to your AMPlify page can really pay off. And then to help you get started using your AMPlify page, we have a set of modules that are available to you where you can take action steps to start using your AMPlify page to advantage. Now, I wanted to come back to a point that I'd said earlier that I would talk a little more about, and that is about when you have a series. One of the great things we can do with a series is when somebody purchases one of your books, we can time out a sequence of emails to them such that they can get a discount code for the next one. It gives you a way to stay in front of them and to keep them engaged in your content. So that's a really awesome option when you have a series on AMPlify. And now I just want to talk about, these are not specifically the AMPlify program or part of it, but they're really powerful when paired with the AMPlify program. The first is called Reach, and it is email marketing. And it can be set up just to go out to the people who have already purchased from your AMPlify page, or you can add a list of contacts if you would like, and then you craft the message, send it to us, and we take care of it from there. So that's the Reach program. Another program that works really, really well when paired with AMPlify, and that's the audiograms. We can make sets of audiograms for you either as like a one-off set or however many you want to do in a set. I believe it's currently 4 per set of audiograms, but you can buy as many sets as you like. Or you can do a subscription where you're getting a set of 4 each month. Now that might really help you with your marketing overall, having these short videos that are available for you to post. It does mean that you need to always let us know what segments you want us to clip for you. We're not going to make guesses about which part of your audiobook you want to make into audiograms. We do ask for you to provide that information. We're going to call that a wrap on AMPlify for this episode. You can learn more at proaudiovoices.com/amplify. And of course, as always, if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us. Thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for joining us for Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. Please take a moment to subscribe at audiobookconnection.com. The podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Learn more at proaudiovoices.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and please join us next week.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.